What's good, everyone? Hope you're having a lovely stream of all these awesome blindfolded runs. We're going to be following up this Ultra Ball run that Tapras just got us through. Unlocked us a Master Ball round 1, where the Pokemon are stronger and the moves are hotter. So let's see how this goes. We're ready on timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Ugh. I love Challenge Cup Master Ball. I've learned a lot of Pokemon cries over the years. And I've learned these fights in and out. This is our first fight, Jane and Jan. They're twins. They have Bug Pokemon and Flying Pokemon. And we have the best Pokemon right out the gate. Scyther. Okay, so we're an Aerodactyl, which has the sweetest moveset ever. It has Ancient Power and usually Wing Attack. You couldn't script this better. This is a perfect start. Every single Pokemon Jan and Jane runs usually will be a Bug or a Flying type. So if you have a Rock type that's fast, like Aerodactyl, and strong, you can just one-shot everything. So we're just gonna very quickly get through this first fight.
One very nice thing about the Pokemon that he has is that one of its moves will always be consistent.
We actually found a roadblock on the way. Caesar is actually a threat. I need to go back. How do I go back? I have very cursed binds on my keyboard. So finding moves and switching Pokemon is really challenging, especially blindfolded. We're gonna swap. It's a free swap. We get to learn more about our team. And potentially we get to get a continue as well. Nidoqueen is an awesome second Pokemon. Oh, I keep getting my Caesar and Heracross backwards. I didn't need to switch. Let's switch back now. We got some good information. Now we know we have Nidoqueen, so we can head back to Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl can take a Mega Horn from a Heracross pretty easily. I was wondering why they didn't go Caesar if they had Caesar, but Heracross makes more sense. So now we find out if we're Wing Attack or if we're Fly. If we're Wing Attack, we're really chillin'. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we lived. This is still very scary. Because now it's a 50-50 if I find Wing Attack or not. Swift? Alright, we need to dodge. We need to dodge. We didn't dodge. Unfortunate. Oh. We went from an unlosable fight to now no idea what's gonna happen. All from a miss. Oh, that's a nice pickup. Just from mishearing the battle cry of a Pokemon. Which is worse because I'm pretty sure he said the name of the move, but we were talking, so I wasn't paying attention. The name of the Pokemon. And we found Thief. Thief Electabuzz. This is doing at least 200 damage, but it's not going to KO. Whenever the crowd is cheering, usually it's a super effective move, or it does a lot of damage. What is happening with this moveset? Found Toxic Rite on Electabuzz. We haven't dodged a single Mega Horn.
Just a note, Mega Horn is only an 85% accuracy. At least I'm 85, not 90, right?
85 is correct. Alright, if there's one thing in this life that I can count on, it's Earthquake being left, which I don't really want to find here. That could be a Headbutt from Heracross. Nope, that was Headbutt from me. So we're going to stick with Headbutt left. Okay. Well, we've learned a lot about our team at the cost of a continue. We're not out of the woods yet, but we should be able to win this. Especially with a flinch. That's a very good start. And there's the Toxic. Let's go. Alright, sweet. Our top row is interesting. Aerodactyl's a great Pokemon. It's good in pretty much every fight. Except this next one.
Yeah.
In fact, all of our Pokemon are bad in the next fight, which is good, because that means I'm more likely to find my water type. There's a very good chance I'll have a water type in my bottom row of Pokemon, which we're about to see here. So we started off with Aerodactyl, Ancient Power left, Rain Dance right, Swift down, which means our flying move is going to be up when we want to use Aerodactyl again. So now we're going to be using our fourth Pokemon. Nidoqueen had Headbutt left, which means Earthquake is likely right. And Electabuzz had Thief Toxic left right. Exeggutor is awesome, except against exactly Aerodactyl, which we didn't have to face. It's very good. Exeggutor is not very good against a Caesar. This time it was a Caesar. So we're going to switch, learn some more about our team. They're going to go for Sandstorm. This fight is very funny. All of their Pokemon are immune to Sandstorm's residual damage. The champ is okay. But what's really bad about this generation of Pokemon, Sandstorm deals 12.5% instead of its typical 6% that you might be familiar with in later generations. And so after a single Sandstorm, your Pokemon is guaranteed to be half health if you manage to one-shot everything. And we managed to find Fire Blast on the champ, which is literally the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah. But yeah, he was mentioning about Sandstorm, and I'll actually wait.
Donphan.
Yeah.
Typical.
The thing with Sandstorm is it only affects Pokemon that are not ground, rock, and steel type, and every is always consistent that Oliver has those types of Pokemon. He'll never have anything that deviates.
Yeah, this is one of the few fights you can count on. Pretty much every fight, there's some variance to the Pokemon that can be on the team, and therefore the type of Pokemon that could be picked for the fight. But this one is very reliable. Every Pokemon is a rock, ground, or steel type. So it's really ideal to have at least a water type or a grass type. And we found the best grass move. Giga Drain heals for, I think, 25%, maybe 50% of the damage. Which is very good at offsetting the Sandstorm damage that's racking up. The only downside about Giga Drain is it only has 5 power points, meaning we can only use it 5 times in any given fight. Nicely done. Not only will this KO the Donphan, but we're probably going to be back to full health, if I'm being honest. My prediction. And the last is most likely Steelix. We only have 3 Giga Drains left, but that should be enough to KO. I don't think Giga Drain is a 2-hit KO, meaning it'll deal anywhere from 30 to 40% damage. Crit helps us get there faster. Now we're definitely full health. And a very pitiful Sandstorm to close out the fight. Alright, we got an awesome start here, folks. This is on pace to be a very fast run. We could potentially get as quick as 45 minutes. Because right now we have a Electabuzz, which is just a generic electric type. We want to have at least one electric type to be really comfortable. We have Exeggutor, which is the best grass type. And we have Aerodactyl, which is just flat out the best Pokemon. So overall, that's going to be our team for like a lot of these fights. And we found it without even having to really discover our whole team, too. Just to recap, our 4th is Exeggutor, and our 5th should be the Pokemon we just swapped to that I've already forgotten the name of. Machamp, and it had Fire Blast left. Machamp is going to be good for the 4th fight, potentially, and even here. So let's go with... I want to lead Electabuzz, try and find that electric move fast. The only risk of me choosing the team I'm about to pick is if this trainer has Jinx. This is Sailor Kurt. And just for that risk alone, I kind of want to pick Aerodactyl instead of something reasonable like Machamp. If they lead Jinx, we're in trouble no matter what. So I think with all of that in mind, we just got to take the risk of a Jinx matchup. I could go with Machamp, even though it's not good against Jinx, because it's a fighting type, weak to Psychic. The only risk is if it has Psychic itself. And if the Jinx hits the Psychic, it'll do some good damage. And then I only have 1 turn to find an attack. We know that Fire Blast is left, so I think we gotta go with the... I'm playing around a Jinx that theoretically doesn't even exist. But we will lose this fight if we pick Electabuzz, Exeggutor, Aerodactyl, and they have a Jinx. So that's the only thing I know I can lose to. We're gonna lead Electabuzz. That's a guarantee. Let's have the Exeggutor, and I think I'm gonna go Machamp instead of Aerodactyl. I don't normally talk through the logic, but I do want to give it our best. Make sure we have the best Pokemon going into any given fight. This fight is predominantly a Water-type team. And there's a good start. That's a Kabutops. We didn't find where our electric move is. I'm going to go up. That sounds like Confusion, but it could be Psychic. Here comes a Surf. The announcer saying the hit was good means it's anywhere from like 25 to 40% damage. It's time to find out if we're Thunderbolt or Thunder. Thunder makes sense. We hit. Thunder has a 70% accuracy, so it can be very dicey in a lot of fights, but the big trade-off of Thunder is that it does a lot more damage than Thunderbolt, and so it can get a lot of one-hit KOs. Lapras is a Pokemon we definitely want to try and hit with this. This is an Ice type, which is really bad for our Exeggutor. If we miss this Thunder, we could be in trouble. Hydro Pump, dodge. Ice Beam. We live the Ice Beam. It's possible we can still get a one-shot here if we hit the Thunder. Let's find out. Very nice. Lived. So there's only one reason in the world that that Ice Beam missed. Do I go for the Psychic? If it's Psychic, it KOs. If it's Confusion, it might not. I didn't hear it quite well enough. Let's see if we're Psychic or Confusion. It was Psychic. This is an insane Electabuzz.
That's actually pretty impressive. Impressive in many ways, to be honest.
It's really rare for the algorithm to give you good moves. Poliwrath is great. I can use Psychic against Poliwrath. I want to preserve a Continue here, though, so we don't want to lose. So we're going to go Exeggutor now. Exeggutor is the perfect counter to a Poliwrath. The only move Poliwrath can learn that would be damaging would be Ice Punch. And this also gives us an opportunity to find out if we're Psychic or Confusion. Critical hit doesn't mean that much. We're going to start off with a Giga Drain. I'm only a little bit worried that that crit deals a lot more damage than I'm expecting, so I probably should just go for 2 Giga Drains here. But at the same time, we really need to find out if we're Psychic or Confusion. Let's go for it. Good dodge. Confusion makes most sense. This is the typical distribution of moves here. What you're seeing right there. You're very rarely going to get two great moves. You're going to get a good move and a weaker move. And Electabuzz is the opposite of that, as we saw. Thunder Psychic is insanely two powerful moves, good coverage. Just really, really good start already. 2 continues in the bank. We would have had 3, but I messed up.
Can I also say that I find it very strange that that we have Sailor Kurt and then we have Fisherman Curtis, both using water types. It's just kind of almost uncanny.
We're going to lead Machamp here, and then I want to have a follow-up with a Aerodactyl, and then Exeggutor makes for a good, well-rounded team here. Actually, Electabuzz is better because we have Psychic. I think I go with Electabuzz. Nidoqueen was my second. Nidoqueen would also be a good choice here, having access to Earthquake. Just a very powerful ground move. Helps against Pokemon like Snorlax and Blissey. But we have Aerodactyl to deal with those Pokemon, so... Charizard. That's scary normally, but this is why we have the best Pokemon. Very lucky that we got an Aerodactyl. And that's another very nuanced decision that we have to make when we're choosing our team. We want to choose Pokemon that complement each other. So for example, if I have an Aerodactyl, which is weak to water and electric, I want to have a Pokemon that's resistant to water or electric, so I have a free switch in, so to speak. And the perfect complement for Aerodactyl's weaknesses would be Exeggutor. It can resist water and electric. The only downside of having both those Pokemon is they're both weak to ice. As I've mentioned in the last fight, Lapras would have actually torn through us really quickly if we weren't lucky. Normally I'd want to switch here, but I guess I'm going to stay in and try and get another hit with this Ancient Power. And that KO'd. Or not. The crowd was cheering. Very lucky dodge. We would have lost Aerodactyl there. I'm gonna go for Swift instead of trying to find my wing attack, because if I find Fly and I miss, I could lose. Not to mention Fly can be hit by Thunder. Very secret little Easter egg of move interactions. So getting the guaranteed KO is more important there. And Ursaring is a scary Pokemon as well. I think I want to switch, preserve safety. I'll see one move. I'll see what this Ursaring's about. We have 3 Ancient Powers. We have 2 left. We could also get a boost here. I'm sorry, y'all. This is pre-recorded, clearly. And here's the gimmick of this fight. We hadn't had a chance to talk about it.
Hey.
The Pokemon are normal and fighting types typically. Charizard is the weird one out here, but we managed to get attracted. We broke through. We hit the wing attack. Nice. Thunder Punch is scary, but we do have the plus boost from the Ancient Power. So really we just need a hit right now, and we win. Broke through again. Based on the audio cues, the announcer will speak up if you're attracted and you didn't attack. This Pokemon is very attracted by the opponent. It'll say that right away after it's your move. And so if you don't hear it, you know you've made it through. And here's Charizard again. We didn't get paralyzed based on that Thunder Punch and the fact that we hit, so we must be faster. And we need to talk about this. I didn't mention this. We survived with our Electabuzz against the Lapras. Ice Beam is 100% accurate. The only reason it could miss is that my Electabuzz is holding Bright Powder, which makes it so that attack moves deal or have a 0.9% accuracy, so they're just a slightly smidge weaker, small chance to miss, which is really good to have on any Pokemon because it's just RNG in your favor. It's just free upside. And we're walking out of this with 3 continues right now. We could have had 4, but I blew it, y'all. I'm so sorry. Could have had 4 continues going into the 5th fight.
And we have Officer Gerald.
Yeah, this is the Sunny Day team. We definitely want to use Aerodactyl. It's good against both the grass types and the fire types. Nidoqueen will be a good follow-up with that if we can find Earthquake. And then the last thing we need to deal with is the grass types, a little insurance against the grass types. And for that, we're going to use our Machamp, which we found out has Fire Blast. Every Pokemon in this fight knows Sunny Day, and we'll typically want to go for it to set up for instant Solar Beams and so forth. But Aerodactyl is literally the best Pokemon for this fight. That's a Magmar. So Ancient Power should one-shot, but it could be damage range. Lived. Yep. So there's that Sunny Day. The only thing we have to fear from this now is if they switch to Exeggutor. Exeggutor will know Solar Beam, and it will do a lot of damage to an Aerodactyl. So we really don't want to see Exeggutor here, but it's fine if we do. We can still win. Our team is actually really bad against Exeggutor, now that I'm thinking about it out loud. We're gonna roll with the punches, y'all. We still have Wing Attack. It still does a ton of damage, but I think it's gonna come down to us hitting a Fire Blast with Machamp. Or getting a crit. Let's see. There's the Solar Beam. This should one-shot. So now we go Machamp. Now Machamp normally isn't very good as a special type user, and Fire is a special move. Dodged. Fire Blast is a special move, but because of the Sun Boost, and Exeggutor's very low special defense, it will be very strong. We should live 1 Psychic. We do. But now we gotta hit the next one. If we don't hit the next one, then we have to hope their last is a Fire type. Nice. So we currently have 1 huge weakness in the team, and that's Exeggutor. And the bad news is Exeggutor can show up in the next 3 fights. And there's a Fire type. Okay, we're chilling. Unfortunately, if it goes for Flamethrower, we're dead, but if it goes for Fire Blast, we can dodge. And that gives us a chance to find our fighting move. If left is Fire Blast, right is probably Submission, Cross Chop. But it was Flamethrower, so we get hit. No dodge. And we're still not out of the woods yet. This Nidoqueen can lose to a Houndoom. And that's assuming we find Earthquake right. It's very likely to be right if Headbutt is left. Most of the time the moves follow this logic. If you have an attacking move left, you'll have attacking move right. More specifically, your same type attacks will be opposite of each other. And we did find the Earthquake. In the case of Pokemon like Nidoqueen, which don't... Nice. That don't learn like a poison attack, instead of learning a poison attack, they'll learn Headbutt, Strength, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Thunderbolt. Ours happened to learn Headbutt. And I was very close to not KOing. I was worried we got burned or something. If we got burned, the Houndoom would have lived the Earthquake, and then it would just be over. We would have lost.
Yeah. Speaking
Very
of the
tricky
burn
fight.
status, one thing that should be noted is that there are certain statuses you won't know that you've been afflicted with. Sometimes the announcer will say that it happens, sometimes not. Burn is one. You only know you're burned if you hear that after damage, after you attack. Only stuff like freeze and sleep will be immediately known.
I'm actually going to pick my last Pokemon here. We have a lot of continues in the bank, so we can afford to take this round to try and figure out our last. We're still very weak to Jinx. Jinx is just flat out the strongest Pokemon against me right now. If our last is a fire type, that can insulate against that.
Also, the
That's the
opponent
Exeggutor I was
is
talking about, by the way.
Emiko.
I'm going to do something weird here. I'm going to Toxic. And it paid off. I wasn't expecting a switch. They're probably going to a ground type. Oh, that's the worst ground type. I can't Toxic that. Switching to our last would be a very bad idea right now. I don't know if our last is a fire type, but I'm hoping it is. Aerodactyl is okay, but if this Nidoking knows Thunder or Blizzard, we could be in trouble. There's the Earthquake dodge. I don't think I've ever been in a position where I used Wing Attack against Nidoking, so I have no idea what the damage ranges are. I'm expecting, with the announcer saying that, it's less than 25%. That was Horn Attack. Oh, that's... Okay, it's done. That was Fury Attack. Very, very rare move to find in Master Ball. Master Ball wants to use the strongest moves, for the most part, but sometimes the coverage moves are just going to be that bad. Occasionally you'll see Double Slap on Poliwrath. This animation is so slow. Alright, this Wing Attack should put it in the yellow.
But anyway, when he was talking about animation, it pretty much stems down to, like, how long does it take for a Pokemon to, like, reset itself back in the arena, and, like, one Pokemon he saw earlier, or that you saw earlier, is among one of the slowest, too, because it has to waddle back and forth.
Alright, we're back to Exeggutor, which is fine. Exeggutor needs to set up a Solar Beam or 2 Psychics to get a KO here. The worst thing I could hear now is Giga Drain. Psychic is fine. Confusion? There's a very slight audio difference between Confusion and Psychic. Psychic is very, like, flashy sounding, and Confusion is a little bassier. Very surprised to hear Confusion. Got the KO, though. This is the best time to find out what our last is. We have a very weak Exeggutor to KO. I was right about the fire type. Typhlosion has one issue compared to other fire types. And it's not Defense Curl, sadly. But that is definitely one bad reason. I can definitely tank a Solar Beam, we're chilling. The big issue with Typhlosion is it can learn Flame Wheel, which is the worst fire move. But we got a nice, juicy Flamethrower. Whenever it's not Flame Wheel, Typhlosion is like a very good Pokemon. Sometimes it can learn Earthquake, sometimes it can learn Thunder Punch. It's just a really well-rounded Pokemon. But if it doesn't know Flamethrower or Fire Blast, it's very, very weak. I think I have Rollout. I'm gonna try and find rollout. If I have defense curl. I found Iron Tail. Double team. Okay. Not a very great Typhlosion. Iron Tail is the worst coverage move, but Iron Tail does give me a chance to deal damage to a Pokemon like Golem, Aerodactyl, Pokemon that are weak to steel moves. So now all we're going to do is just keep Flamethrowering. Maybe we dodge a couple hits. And then we got to hit a Thunder with our Electabuzz to win the fight. So it's just gonna be trading blows here for a minute. We can hang out, relax. This fight's basically done, but it's gonna come down to me hitting a Thunder.
I think there's 4 fire types that Typhlosion can learn. I want to say that it can get Fire Punch.
It can get Fire Punch.
Yeah, that would make sense, because if it can get Thunder Punch for sure. It won't get Ice Punch because, yeah, that'd be pretty good to have, honestly.
And there's the KO. Whenever the crowd is cheering on what is otherwise a weak move, you know the announcer or the Pokemon has fainted. All right, this is what I was saying. Believe it or not, our run, this fight could end right here by just missing several Thunders in a row. If I wanted to be really cautious, I could hit a Toxic, I guess. It's slightly more accurate. I think it's 100% accurate, actually. Or we could just hit, which is the mainstay of my playing this game. Just hit. So we get the win. Nice. We've still got 3 continues in the bank, and we're going into what I would say is the hardest fight in the run. Similar to Ultra Ball, the issue with the 6th fight, Peggy, is the confused strats, making it really hard for you to get hits off. This is very similar, but in a different direction. The scientist Roberto really likes Double Team and Flash and Sand Attack. And so not only is it a very strong core of Pokemon, Psychic types, but it's also a lot of Double Team users. So what you really want to have in this fight is a Pokemon that can dodge accuracy. We have 2 of them. We have a Swift Aerodactyl that has Rain Dance to boost our Thunder Electabuzz. So that alone tells us we're going to be picking those 2 Pokemon. Alright, so we picked that. Aerodactyls are first, and now it's a question of what would round out the team nicely. Exeggutor would be good against a Starmie, but bad against a Jinx. Typhlosion, I think, fits the bill. Typhlosion has Flamethrower, and it'll be good against Exeggutor, which continues to be a problem for this team. Hopefully a Starmie lead. Alakazam, very scary. They go into battle pose. Vicious attack. Great hit. There it goes. Okay. There was a brief delay in the space between the Thunder ending and hitting that I thought I missed. It was like a fraction of a second that it sounded like it missed, and then it went through. So, are we cool with just losing if they have a Starmie? I think so. We're gonna just sacrifice Electabuzz here to the Psychic. We could theoretically switch to Aerodactyl, tank 1 Psychic, and then go for a KO. But I'd rather just have a full health Aerodactyl. Now, after a Thunder, both of my attacks are going to be a KO. Wing Attack and Ancient Power have the same damage, but if you get a KO with a move, you don't get its secondary effect. So using one of my Ancient Power points would be awkward. I might need all 5 somehow, so there's no reason to waste the PowerPoint on that. I'm ready. There's the Starmie.
Oh no.
We can still win this. This is not a loss. Starmie's gonna have Psychic, which means it has Bubble Beam at best. Maybe Waterfall. And it's still gonna be a 2 KO, but... Or it's Hydro Pump. Okay. So you know how I said this was the double team matchup? I think the only out we have here is the double team. Starmie only has 4 more Hydro Pumps. It's already an 80 accuracy move. If they hit, we lose anyway, and if they miss, we get an extra double team. So it was worth the effort. I was really worried about Jinx more than Starmie. I would have picked Exeggutor, but Exeggutor also is bad against Houndoom and Umbreon, which are Pokemon we can find in this matchup. But now that we know there's a Starmie, and we heard the lead was an Alakazam, we can plan accordingly. We can lead... We might have to just lead Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl, Electabuzz, and then still Typhlosion. Typhlosion's probably better than Exeggutor, especially because we lose to Jinx. We have Electabuzz in the back now to deal with a Starmie once the Starmie switches out. Although, no, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I can't safely assume the Roberto is gonna choose the same team. They can pick any 3 of the 6 Pokemon they have, but I should expect them to pick the same team and work with that. And here we have a Starmie lead, which is what I was trying to do with my Electabuzz lead. I can't switch, because if I switch into a Hydro Pump and then get hit, I'll die to Confusion or Psychic. We could get a dodge, we could get a boost. Good start. If this connects, we're probably fine. And now we might live the Hydro Pump. The things an Ancient Power Boost will do.
The Rainbow Boost. That's what,
Rainbow Boost is so pretty. Once again, I went for a Wing Attack there because I want to preserve my 3 remaining Ancient Powers. I almost want to switch. What's the reason to not switch? I can probably beat an Alakazam still. It's really not a bad idea to switch here. Let me think about the damage of a Hydro Pump after +1. It's guaranteed a KO, so that's going to be 220 to 240, 50 damage minimum. Let's give it a generous berth, and let's say that the maximum damage of a Hydro Pump from a Starmie would be something like 300 damage. If we're at +1, that's going to put our health approximately to 1.25, or sorry, 75% of the damage. 75% of 240 would be 180. .180 would put me at 40 HP. 40 HP lives a bite from an Umbreon. We go for the Ancient Power. We can live 1 hit. And there's a chance it's a 2 KO. Feint Attack. We lived. I was hoping the announcer would let us know whether or not we were on low health or not. So I'm going to go for the Ancient Power again. No cheering. So we're going to lose Aerodactyl, but we should win the fight. Unless we boost out of range. We did.
Incredible.
So, you notice how the announcer said the name of the move, Feint Attack? That's usually when it's a KO. But the announcer doesn't count for your stat boosts. If you have a stat boost, whether offensive or defensive, the announcer won't know that it's not a KO. And so that was a KO, but because we boosted, we got out of range. And now we one-shot an Alakazam. Or a Pinsir.
On the flip side, when he was mentioning about announcing the attack, now he did knock out the Starmie, I believe, with Wing Attack. So he wouldn't say it a second time in that same fight.
Exactly. It'll announce the move, so to speak, once it's gotten its moment in the sun, and then after that it never mentions it again. But there will be some flavor to it. They'll be like, will this decide it? Or now one more. Those kind of moves will be the flair behind saying that Wing Attack, just like we heard there.
And can we also just say that, sorry about that, I was just going to say real quick that, can we just say that Aerodactyl is very good in round 1?
Aerodactyl single-handedly won that fight against 3 Pokemon, and one of them was super effective. Very fortunate. Yeah, let's use Aerodactyl again. That seemed fun. I'm still worried about Jinx, so I'm gonna pick Typhlosion, even though Exeggutor would be the best pick here. Exeggutor gives me insurance against a ground type, which I'm currently very weak against. A ground type could do a lot of damage to my team right now, but we do have outs to beat them. There's a Magmar lead. I'll take that. They're switching, so they're going to a ground type or a steel type. Or the worst Pokemon you can switch into an Ancient Power. Thank you. One more for the road? Usually when you're the player, your Pokemon will be faster than the opposing. And we know that that was me because it said the name of the attack. So we were faster. This run genuinely could not have gone better. Wow, it's just a mirror match. We have the exact same Pokemon, except I have a Typhlosion instead of a Magmar. That's very interesting.
That is incredible.
That tells you just how good this team is. Even our final opponent knew to pick it.
Yeah, and basically for the final opponent, being Travis the Gentleman, you just basically pick your best team that you have overall, because you can't really assume anything at all.
Yeah, the 6th and the 8th fight have the same Pokemon distribution that you get. Their Electabuzz was faster. Wow. We both have Bright Powder. That's really funny. Alright, I know the line to win. Do you know what I did? I swapped to Aerodactyl on the Hyper Beam. Now, because of Hyper Beam, the Electabuzz has to recharge for a turn. So now I just get 2 Ancient Powers for free, which should be enough to KO. If we get a boost, surely. Darn. Alright, I'm not actually sure if this 2 KOs. I don't think it does, but if it does, we win. Not cheering. If we dodge the Thunder, we can still KO. Darn. We can still win. We have a pretty good advantage going into this. It's going to be a little awkward getting the KO against Magmar. We're going to start things off with a flamethrower. We should be faster. We are not. We got hit. Did we get paralyzed? We did not get paralyzed. The issue is we've taken a lot of damage now. This is going to come down to what Magmar's attack is. We do have access to Psychic. It's definitely Magmar. Iron Tail sucks, Defense Curl sucks, Double Team sucks. So we're just forced to Flamethrower even though it's not very effective. We should have gone first. What's their move? Fire Blast, and it was a crit. Fire Blast has an extended animation going on sound-wise. Flamethrower is just like a little brush, and then it goes away. Whereas Fire Blast is a sustained fire sound. And unfortunately that crit means that we're down to the wire now. We have to hit 2 Thunders before they hit 2 Fire Blasts. Good start. We have Bright Powder too, so... Still hit, it's fine. Both hanging tough means we're both in the yellow, so unfortunately I don't think Psychic will KO. We just have to hit. Just hit!
Just hit. Just hit, baby.
I'm taking my blindfold off because we're just at the end of it.
Yeah, because he'll say, "Congratulations, the champion has been decided."
That was a fast run. I'm betting that was 43 minutes.
Looking at the timer,
Time?
which is right now, it looks like it would be 46, 48.
Pretty good. Very, very good. Aerodactyl, the best Pokemon in Challenge Cup, single-handedly won the 7th fight through a Starmie. We got very lucky in this run, but we also had probably the best Pokemon. I could not have chosen better, frankly, if I could choose my own team. All the teams are random, and so are the movesets, but Aerodactyl just really carried a lot of that. And yeah. We got the dub on record time. Excellent. Very, very excellent. This has been a wonderful day of blindfolded gaming. I hope you all have enjoyed the Master Ball Challenge Cup after Ultra Ball. Some very nice, diverse fights. Every trainer was different, had a different theme going on. So, yeah, we got very fortunate, both of us, with our teams and how they stacked up against them. Really, really nice win. We even finished with 2 extra continues. So we had some insurance policy in the bank in case things went awry. Very, very nice. Well done. GG's, Tapras. And I think we're going to be heading into our next game, which I believe is Bubzia on Super Mario 64. That'll be hype.
I think it was like multiple runners.
Yeah, I think it's a race.
Yeah, it's a 1-star blindfolded race.
There we go. So be sure to stick around, folks. That's going to be a fun one next. But until then, thank you. I've been Ro. This has been Tapras joining me on the call. Catch you around. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.